Now, sir, I think the House will agree with me here at least. It is a question beyond controversy that the teacher must be the keystone of the educational structure. The quality of education must depend upon the quality of the teacher, upon the dignity and the status we give to the teacher, upon the emoluments we give to the teacher, and therefore I will briefly point out to the House what our policy is with regard to the pay scales of teachers. Not once, not twice, but several times in this house and outside, I have expressed my greatest sympathy for the lot of the teachers. I have said that they are not paid according to the merits or even according to the cost of living index prevailing in this country. I have said that in some of the states, really what they get is shocking. But the House might well ask me that sympathy is not enough. The teachers want some public demonstration not only of sympathy but of the action taken by the union government. May I point out what our policy is with regard to this matter? It is impossible under the present circumstances to have a uniform pay scale for the whole country. Conditions vary from state to state. Even today, if you look at the pay scales of teachers, they vary from state to state. But I do feel there should be a minimum below which no teacher should be paid, and in that sense, those states which have not reached that minimum should do something to bring about that consummation. We also feel that the ordinary salaries of teachers should not be a part of the plan expenditure. The ordinary pay of teachers should be part of the ordinary administrative expense of the state. And the state must find that amount just as it finds the salaries of its civil servants. It if dearness allowance is increased for the civil servants, there is no reason why similar treatment should not be given to the teachers. I think that this difference that has been observed by the states between teachers and the civil servants is wrong. I think that teachers are more important to the economy and polity of the state than civil servants, and there is no reason why the state should look upon the payment of civil servants as part of the ordinary administrative expenditure but consider the payment to teachers as something extraordinary or abnormal. I come now to the question of a primary education. I am fully conscious of the constitutional directive, which is to make education free and compulsory between the ages of 6 and 14. I also realize that we are woefully behind in carrying out that constitutional directive. At present, we are working for the limited target of 6 to 11, and even that we hope to achieve at the end of the fourth 5 year plan. But may I say this that what the Constitution requires is education, not merely sending children to school and producing statistics before this house. Therefore, it is necessary that the elementary education we give should be education in the real sense of the term. The expansion is so tremendous, as I said, there is a backlog of 1 lakh untrained teachers that we have not the requisite trained teachers. Then there is the difficulty of having proper school buildings. It is no use my coming to this house and saying that 50 million students are in primary schools. Therefore, even as far as primary education is concerned, we have now got to think more of consolidation and quality. But there is one unfortunate aspect of primary education to which I want to draw the attention of the house. Students enter the schools and sometimes in the third standard or fifth standard they leave the schools. What happens? Whatever they have learnt, they forget so that it is a total loss to the country. Lakhs and crores are spent on young boys and girls to give them elementary education, and when they have finished with their schools, more often than not, they forget what they have learned. Therefore, we have decided that the most important thing is to have a follow up in the sense of having libraries, in the sense of producing literature and neo literates, so that these boys and girls should have an opportunity of reading and forgetting what they have learned. We must inculcate in them the reading habit and give them the opportunity for reading the material for reading. In Delhi, those who are interested in this subject will be glad to know that Delhi Public Library is doing a wonderful job. They have a mobile van in which books are taken to villages 20 miles around the city. When I visited it, I was told that whenever the van goes to these villages, a siren is sounded and hundreds of people flock to this van and ask for books which are given to them. Therefore, the desire is there, but the means are not available. Therefore, in the fourth plan, we shall emphasize more and more the follow up action which is necessary in order to keep our boys and girls literate who have been made literate at great cost to the state. This necessarily brings in the question of evolution of a suitable education setup which ensures continuous watch of the career of the pupils as they pass on from one class to another, and the establishment of teacher pupil relationship. The same argument applies to social education. Here again the problem is astronomical. I think over 200 million in this country cannot read and write. I think it is a shame and a disgrace. It is a blot on the fair name of this country.